Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and I wanted to make a quick video on this post over on the Dokkan subreddit by this guy, Horace DB. Here, let me actually put an upvote on this too. I'm pretty sure this guy is affiliated with the Dokkan Wiki, so big shoutouts to him, and definitely big shoutouts to the Dokkan Wiki. The Dokkan Wiki, man, is run very well. They get info up very, very fast, so huge shoutouts to all of them. Now, this video is going to kind of go over mainly the mechanics behind their active skill, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about like their passive right here, you know, using the info that Horace DB puts out here, because these LRs, just looking at them on paper, it's difficult to tell exactly how good they are, right? Because of the kind of new mechanics they've added, like the active skills, you know, the building up of attack in Vegeta's case, you know, because here's the thing. These two units, like if you look at them on paper, you see Vegeta building up his attack rather slowly. You know, you would think that Goku is head and shoulders above him. Now, they're definitely a lot closer than many people, including me, gave Vegeta credit for on day one. I definitely think Goku's a little better because he starts out with that 80% attack. But in all honesty, this buildup of attack for Vegeta, it doesn't really hurt him that much. He's still busted OP. Really, the only unit I would consider to be on the level of these two Super Saiyan 4s is LR Goku and Frieza. That's it. And it's just because LR Goku Frieza is actually, you know, the hardest hitting unit in the game. When you get all of LR Goku and Frieza's passive up, like they're able to hit like 10 million and stuff. It's crazy. They just do such a ridiculous amount of damage, right? So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. I don't know. Personally, right now, I do kind of like the Super Saiyan 4s a bit better than LR Goku and Frieza, just because I think the active skill mechanic in itself for them is just completely broken. You know, for LRB Pan, it's a nice little addition to her card, but for the LR Super Saiyan 4s, it's maddening how, like, strong it makes them, right? So let's go ahead and jump in to this post right here. We'll kind of like read along and I'll give my thoughts and stuff and we'll get to it. So, game just released a new hours. This post is also 4 days old. I've been meaning to do this video every single day, but just, you know, haven't done it. Finally today I'm actually doing it. But so like this, you know, obviously people are beginning to figure out more about how these LRs work concretely, but you know, back then 4 days ago this was a big deal. Okay, so here, let me jump into it. So their at start of each turn buffs activate only when they appear. The in-between turns do not count, unfortunately. So, what this means is for a unit like Vegeta, right? Vegeta builds up 20% attack at the start of each turn, up to a maximum of 80%. Now, in order for that to activate, Vegeta himself has to be on the rotation. So, you're going to need 4 turns with Vegeta on rotation to build up his 80% attack. Honestly, I don't think you're going to get many. The LRs are too strong, so I think it's going to be very, very, very rare that you're ever going to see Vegeta with his maximum 80% attack. That's one reason I do have Goku above him. But at the same time, Vegeta is able to hit a lot harder than you'd think. One thing that helps is he does have slightly more attack. Well, barely any. No, he has 60 more attack. That's it. Okay, never mind. I thought it was like 1,000, but you know, having another reason these guys are able to hit so hard, by the way, is the fact that they have 21,000 attack. Like, there's only a few LRs that are that high. LR Goku and Frieza, LR Broly, LR Gohan, and I believe LR Goku Black and Zamasu are the only LRs that have higher attack power than these guys. There might be one more I'm thinking of, but, you know, their attack set is just so damn high. Like, you're going to cut through events. Even if these guys are 55% in the dupe system, you're going to tear through events so fast that you're not going to see Vegeta build up the 80% attack. You're also not going to see Goku build up his 80% defense. Those are just very unrealistic. I was able to do it with Vegeta only when I went into the Super Buu event, which you guys might know is, you know, the ridiculous long event where Buu is basically immortal until nearly the end of the fight, right? That's the only way I was able to get the 80% attack on Vegeta. So it's going to be very, very rare that that happens. One other thing, too, I do want to point out is that when Vegeta is fully built up, he's actually a better offensive unit than Goku. And when Goku is fully built up, he's actually a better defensive unit than Vegeta, which is very interesting. And like right here, boom. So here's a post by Mobile Man where, fun fact, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku has the highest defense potential in the game. So he says this is just defense potential, not average defense. And he goes on to do a whole bunch of calculations showing that, like, this Goku, if you build him all the way up, his defense is going to be absolutely astronomical. So that's interesting that, like, they kind of, you know, for the most part, Goku will be the harder hitter and Vegeta will be the better defender. But when they're all built up, they actually swap, which, you know, that's kind of cool. Okay, so their super attacks massively raise their attack by 100%. Easy to jump to the conclusion that it's a 100% buff to their passive skill or even to their overall damage, but unfortunately it's not how it works. The 100% buff is added to their SA multipliers, which, especially for Mega Colossal damage, is already very high, 570% at SA20 without hidden potential, meaning that the buff isn't really as broken as it sounds. Still a very good buff, though. So, what Horus over here is referring to is, of course, on their super attacks. Both Goku and Vegeta, they massively raise stuff on their super attacks. Now, Vegeta massively raises his attack on his 12 key, and then Goku massively raises his defense on his 12 key. But then both of them on their 18 key supers, they massively raise attack and defense for one turn. Now, again, that is basically a 100% buff. The massively is very, very rare. The most notable unit who really had this for a while, for a long time, many of us thought LR Gohan had it, but he actually doesn't. But it's Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and then, of course, Physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So here's LR Gohan. He, unfortunately, only greatly raises on his 18 key. Then Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on the 11 key super. You guys know how, you know, you're aiming to get the 11 key super with the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks units. That's where they massively raise attack for one turn. That's the same effect that the LRs have. Here's the difference, though. It's actually kind of difficult, especially nowadays, to get, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks as 11 key super for that, you know, 100% SA modifier buff. But for the LRs, it's a joke because they get, what, 4 key from their same colored orbs, so AGL for Goku, SCR for Vegeta, and then they get 3 key per rainbow orbs. So it's actually, it's more difficult to get their 12 key super than it is their 18 key super. Like, they just build up keys so easily. One reason they're just so busted. So Gotenks here, right? Massively raise attack for one turn. Same thing with the Physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Massively raises attack for one turn on 11 key super. So, you know, we have seen this before. That's why Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks hits so much harder on his 11 key. And that's why these LRs are able to hit so damn hard as well, is because they massively raise attack, which is very, very good. Then we look at the ultimate damage. So the ultimate damage, of course, is their active skill, which massively raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. So their ultimate damage multiplier was data mined to be 750%, and it's a fixed amount just like counterattack multipliers. I've also done some tests just to make sure I haven't missed anything while data mining, and the tests prove the numbers to be accurate. So a 750% multiplier is a big deal, because if you look at what their counter is, it's 300%. So their active skill is over twice as powerful as the counter that Super Saiyan 4s can have. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, the Vegito counterattacks. You know, the Super Saiyan 4s can counter supers. That's like 750%. That's no joke. That's a lot. That's one reason these active skills are able to hit so damn hard. And then on top of that, the active skills also massively raise their attack, and in this case, it actually is a 100% buff to the overall damage, which more than makes up for the lack of the key multiplier in the active skill calculation, as the 100% buff literally doubles their damage output for that attack. So, basically, when you activate your active skill, they're going to get that 100% attack buff just for that active skill. It goes away as soon as the active skill is complete. So it's not like, you know, you start the turn out with your active skill and then you have an extra 100%, you know, even when you complete the turn, gather key and stuff. It's only for the active skill. But, you know, between the 750% multiplier and then the raising attack by 100%, a true 100% buff, that's why these active skills are just so disgusting. Like, you know, again, like you guys might have seen in my rainbow videos for these guys, Like, you know, I was able to completely one-shot the final stage of LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's Dokkan event with just Super Saiyan 4 Goku's active skill. Like, they're capable, they crit for 3 million damage, you know, it's ridiculous. Now, the other thing about this, too, the active skills can crit. I'm pretty sure they can't additional. I've not seen any info about that. I have never seen them additional. So, you know, you're not going to get double active skills, right? But they can crit, which is a big deal. The other thing which I've noticed, I did actually test this out after I saw people talking about it, but it appears as though the active skills actually, okay, so dodging enemies like Harudagarn or Janemba cannot dodge active skills. You know, like a Dokkan attack, it appears to be a guaranteed hit. So, you know, for bosses in the future that have these abilities, you know, to dodge and stuff, active skill units are going to absolutely destroy it. So that's another interesting part. There were some more tidbits of information down here in the comments I wanted to get. I think this is one... Okay, no, that's not important. There was one comment in here that was actually kind of important that I did want to go over here. Yep, active skills can crit. I guess I already went over all this stuff. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, this is it right here. Okay, so ultimate attacks, are they affected by links or support buffs? And then Horus responds, yes. Pretty much everything can increase their damage output. They only ignore key multiplier, as they can activate before collecting key and SA level / SA multiplier. So... auto rotation, any given rotation, when you're activating your active skill, I already went over this in the videos for these units, but this is important to go over again. Like, when the rotation starts, you know, you can use the active skill. You can put the Goku anywhere in the rotation you want, use the active skill. Then after it's done, you can still move him around. So it's always most beneficial for you on a turn with the active skill to make sure to put the LRs in position where they have the maximum amount of their links active, right? Because, you know, that adds to the damage for their active skill, will allow them to hit super hard. And then support type units also buff it. So when I've been telling people that Bra is one of the best units in the game, and people were like, ha ha ha, look at Truth with his clickbait, ha 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 ha. No, wrong. Bra is one of the best units in the game. And now, when she's dropping that 40% attack buff on Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta on the same turn he has his active skill, he's going to be one-shotting enemies. Like, you know, these things are a big deal. And then Goku, of course, does have a few support units on his team as well that you can use to get, you know, his better buff. You could even go with Great Ape Tora, who is a super AGL type, right? Because one extra thing about these units I love is that they're giving a full 120% on their secondary leader skill, meaning even, you know, super AGL units for Goku's team and super SCR units for Vegeta's team are very powerful units. So I really, really like that. I think these units are actually very, very cleverly and well designed. It's like, upon initial look at them, like, you know, when the data download happened, you see, oh, only 80% attack buff. Whoa, Vegeta only starts out with 20% attack. Whoa, are these guys really that good? And it's like, no, yeah, there's just so many layers to what they do between countering super attacks, you know, all the extra ki they get, massively raising attack on their super, the active skills. They're just absolutely incredible units. I do hope to see future units be as detailed as this. Like, as of right now, a lot of us are kind of expecting the possibility of an LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in Part 2 on a Legendary Summon banner, because obviously they have not introduced the yellow gacha coins yet. If that happens, I do hope Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is as detailed as these guys. I also would like to point out, if they really do that, I would not be shocked if Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is better than both of these guys, by the way. Like, that... If they really did an LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well, oh man, would that be hype. But, alright guys, I figured we could go ahead and finish up here. Big shoutouts, of course, to Horus DB, as well as Mobile Man, because we looked at him, you know, mentioning that Goku has the highest defensive potential in the game. So, you know, big shoutouts to them for the posts. The Super Saiyan 4s, definitely the best units. Well, I don't want to say definitely the best units in the game, but they're definitely two of the top 3 best units in the game. I think everyone will agree on that. For sure. So, you know, if you pulled them, congratulations. If you didn't pull them, I would say keep pulling while their banners are up. Global players, you know, if you guys want to summon for Broly and Gogeta, go for it. You have many months until the 4-year anniversary for Global. But remember, these guys, like, you know, Gogeta and Broly were very hyped, but they're not as good as the LR Super Saiyan 4s, not even close. But I will say this, Gogeta and Broly are still the best TURs in the game. It's just Goku and Vegeta obviously are LRs, so they are much better. That's just how it works. LRs are always better, pretty much. So, alright, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.